Welcome back to the Morning Blend. Recycling is great because, of course, it keeps things out of the landfills and new stuff can be made with recycled materials. Analiese Smith is here from Waukesha County Recycling with tips for recycling right. Great to see you.
Nice to see you as well.
I think there's so many questions. I know every time, especially if it's something unusual I maybe haven't had in my house before or used before, I think, well, can it go in the bin or not? I bet a lot of people are like that.
We do. So we really try to reach out to residents to let them know what is and is not recyclable, because all of the materials that you do put in that recycling cart eventually come to our material recovery facility and then are sold to be made into new products. So we want to make sure that the stuff that's making new products is the highest and best quality.
And I get that. Let's talk a little bit about things that belong in the curbside. I love seeing things sorted because I love the idea that things are truly being recycled. I just think it's a better feeling in terms of our environment. So let's talk about what belongs in the curbside bin. What are examples of things that are a yes?
Absolutely. Yeses are your plastic bottles, jugs, and containers. Typically they have a number 1, 2, or 5 on the bottom, but they're your water bottles, your juice bottles, your milk jugs, coffee containers, anything, a rigid hard plastic.
I'm glad you have the egg container there, because I wonder, some of them probably are okay and some not.
Yes,
right?
Yes. So the paper cardboard ones are totally okay, and the styrofoam ones are not. So those should be returned to the store, returned to your local farmer, or thrown in the trash.
This is fascinating to me, this big block of cans. It looks so cool. Is everything that is recyclable, is it reduced and compacted like that?
Yes, so this is a very small bale. It only has about 1,000 cans in it. The real bales that we make and ship have a lot more cans in it, and they're about 3 feet by 3 feet.
Oh, whoa.
So very large, and then the cans get shipped down south from here, and paper goes up north, and things get moved around to be made into new products.
I always wonder too, with the things that are a yes, should you be washing them out before you put them in the recycle bin?
Absolutely. So for several reasons, it's really great if you can give those items a quick rinse. They don't need to be pristine. You don't need to be putting them through your dishwasher or anything like that.
That's good to know.
I've gotten that question.
Yeah.
But especially we use opticals to sort a lot of the plastics. So if there's liquid or material left in the plastic, the machine can't do its job correctly. As well,
it's machine sorted.
So yes, it's a combination of people sorting and machinery sorting. So help everybody do their job by rinsing and preparing and putting the caps back on your plastic.
That's the other thing I was going to ask you. Put the lids on.
Yep. Once it's emptied, put the lid back on. That helps it get to where it needs to go in our facility. And it also makes it smell a lot more pleasant for our employees.
I get that. With something like this, a lot of times I crush it up, make it smaller, then put the lid on. That's okay?
You can do a little bit of a crunching because the truck too compacts it to make it fit better in the cart, but don't crush it so much that if you take your aluminum can and turn it into like a little hockey puck,
you don't want
it real small, because then again the machines think it's something else.
Okay, here this pile I think is really important because this is a no pile, and I want to talk about the things that are here. You brought some great examples. So in front is a child's toy. It's plastic. A lot of people might think that is okay.
Right, and this is a big no for 2 reasons. One, it's not the right type of plastic that could be recycled. And second of all, we as an industry have been having a really big problem with batteries. So there's a battery in that toy that could very easily start a fire. And
yes, I know it's in the toy, but you bought examples of batteries, and that's good to know. If those are still in something, it's especially bad.
Yes, it's a huge safety concern. The batteries become, by the time they're compressed in the truck and all sorts of different things, become a real hazard for the safety of our employees. So no batteries ever belong in your curbside cart.
That's great to know. What about pots and pans? I know sometimes when you lose the nonstick, the surface, things get old. Should those go in the garbage or in recycling?
So the best place for pots and pans are to take them to a scrap metal drop-off location, because then they get to the right place and they don't damage the conveyor belts. So again, when we're talking about all of the different types of machinery that's doing sorting, we have a lot of conveyor belts, and then I brought an example here. This is a spinning disc. So there are thousands of these in the facility, maybe hundreds, and these spin very quickly to sort bottles and cans from paper. The paper goes up and over and the bottles fall down.
And that's why now in many communities, it's because I wondered about this, cans and bottles go in the same container as paper and cardboard recycling materials.
Absolutely.
And that's how they get separated.
This is why you don't have to sort them anymore, is because these discs do.
Interesting.
So the pots and pans are something that while the material is completely recyclable and we can capture them, it's much better if you get them to a scrap metal.
Scrap metal. Real quick, the other things you have here, this is one that's a big one. These are plastic bags. You get a lot of them at grocery stores, convenience stores, other stores. It's best to keep these, put them all together and take them to stores. Grocery stores, there's a lot of grocery stores in particular that take plastic bags.
Absolutely. So again, anything that can get wrapped around that disc is very dangerous. It's people have to climb on the discs and cut them off by hand, which is dangerous and time consuming. Also, leave your recyclables loose. Don't put your recyclables in a plastic bag because, again, that makes it harder for the people and machinery to sort.
Great
point. No plastic bags ever.
There's a garden hose here really quick. That's also a no.
Correct.
That is a no. And you have a great list. We have a full screen graphic of it, but this will itemize for people. Cans, cartons, glass, paper, plastic, what's recyclable. Then you see on the bottom there those red lines to the things that are not okay for curbside recycling. There are other places though where you can take some of those things, so it pays to look into it and find out where is a great place, like scrap metal, for example, where they will take things that you no longer want. WaukeshaCounty.gov/recycling is a website to visit, and can you find that catalog also of what's okay and what's not?
Yes, we just ask residents, when in doubt, check it out.
I like it. It's so great to have you here. Thank you so much for your time.